So I'm originally from Nicaragua. I lived under 10 years of communism.
I bet you she hasn't read a book.
And my family escaped
Except for
from
self-help.
Nicaragua to here. And when you live under a regime like that, and you really understand, what's at stake, I think a lot of Americans don't understand what's happening because they're ignorant.
I mean, look at the border. I mean, it's so free. We have 2 million people who've just walked.
It's funny how people that grow up in those countries can see that agenda and they're like, we don't want any part in it. Like the Cubans down in Florida would be a perfect example of that. They're just horrified.
These people, so this guy and that last lady, do you ever notice that the people that are on the right that are passionate about it, they actually have arguments and they're rational and they can articulate their points clearly, rather than the liberals well, he's nice and I don't know, if you can't just tell, then you're crazy. They actually don't know how to think properly, I think.
We would probably find Republicans that can't name anything as well, but I think in a general sense, when we were asking people,
you get the passionate ones, I mean,
right, okay, you're passionate about this, well, why? Tell me why. And they would just go down a laundry list, and it's all right, fine. So I'm not really going to debate you on that. We'll dig a little bit, but yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right.
Walked in who are now going to become potentially citizens of the United States, swaying their own democratic vote. We have all of the problems that we've had with our economy, with our foreign affairs, with our border, with Chinese spy balloon. With the inflation. We have so many issues. It's beyond me that anyone would support this sham of presidency and not see what's happening. And the future it's going to have, the impact it's going to have on our future on our kids.
Emperor's new clothes.
Half of our country realizes that there's people today that are being put into office and elected in places not based on their achievements or their, of their background, but based on their skin color or whether or not they fulfill a certain diversity quota.
Yeah.
How has that thinking ever been upheld in our country?
He could have had potential in the beginning, but now he's just
he nailed that. He's not about the identity politics, and it's incredibly dangerous since they're trying to implement it on a governmental level in the federal government. The checking boxes when it comes to race, sexual orientation, whatever it may be. Lisa, I feel like I don't know how much time it would take to explain this to somebody, but you think people would want your government to be operating the best, most efficient, with the best, most efficient people working in government. But now it's not about prioritizing merit when it comes to government. It's about prioritizing skin color. And it's funny how he pointed that out, because
not just
that was
skin
a good
color.
one.
It's any of these diversity checkbooks. So the Secretary of Transportation, Buttigieg, right? He checks gay box, right? Then we have
he's as useful as a doorknob.
Stealing everybody's luggage. Look how that's working out. But he crossed all kinds of check boxes, wearing lipstick, but being a man and into kink stuff and stealing women's clothes. Okay, so we have that one. You've got Kamala, and you've got the Ketanji Brown. I mean, they don't have anybody in there that isn't prioritized strictly because of what diversity quota box that they check.
Yeah.
And I get that, some people may be qualified, some people may have decent qualifications, but even in those specific qualification boxes, say a black senator, woman, or whatever, right? There's actually other people that are better in that position, but they're picking the ones that are going to blindly follow along with the agenda and not make too much noise. They're just going to.
Yeah, and they're appealing to that. They're appealing to that base of we need to double, triple down on making everyone believe that Republicans are anti-diversity or whatever it may be, when in fact a lot of Republicans are just valuing merit over people's physical skin color. Democrats are definitely going the opposite direction. There's a lot of minorities actually in California that are completely over it. A lot of minorities, especially in 2020, 2021, definitely woke up to the identity politics BS, and they're not a big fan of it.